Good morning, Salibonani. This is the weekly affair. I'm Skangele Ngwenya. On this program, we bring you the impact of COVID-19 on different facets of our life. Welcome to the program. Please tell us briefly about the work that you're doing and also how you guys were operating during COVID-19.
Oh, all right. COVID-19 was a very difficult patch for everyone. Since everything was locked, the shops and everything. So it was hard for you to move from one place to another. And it disturbed every schedule, everything. We had our things planned from one place to another. So the COVID-19 disturbed every schedule and it was very hard to operate.
So eventually, how were you operating?
No, we were operating locally, even through our referrals or a phone.
So how were you managing with the COVID-19 protocols? Were you supposed to sanitize, social distance, temperature check and things like that? How were you managing with your clients?
This one was very difficult. Firstly, we were assessing a lot of equipment and many things were so new, sanitizers and everything. So I would say mostly it's just mask up, but even in mask up, as sex workers, we need that visibility. Imagine if I give mask, how are you going to advertise and market to our clients? Because I think the protocol of COVID was violated.
So eventually you did not observe the protocols because of the nature of the work that you're doing. And according to some studies like the Asian and the African studies, they reveal that some sex workers ended up doing online. Like, how does that operate?
Looking at our environment and our economic, I would say it had not that much impact because many of our sex workers, they come from poor backgrounds and many of them are not even educated. So internet, it wasn't an option kakulu. Plus you're even struggling to get something on the plate. So how would you take email and buy data or something? So mostly I think it was calls and text for people or regular clients, or even my referrals from friends and everyone. Internet, I think it was mostly for people who were able, social high class, who could afford that, and they were doing advertising and getting good clients on internet, not for everyone.
So how did you guys manage to get your health services, for example?
All right, for me it was a different experience. Already, as I said, to time a PMO mobilizer, so these things are at my exposed at my exposure. I need the condoms, whatever, as a distributor. So actually we're distributing to amanya peers to hotspots, and so even in my phone we communicate to phone and was sorry.
How easy is it to do that?
Mostly it was not easy because I think was with you knowing someone, I would call someone we are phone or what. So I think laba contact with our peers or our peer-led clinics that contact, it was very difficult for them. It was very difficult for them. But we go high risk because now if a way of protecting yourself, then India will access to a clinic so much. So it was so, because you could not go to a clinic to ask for condoms during that time. It was strictly abantu me babagula or something.
And to what extent did that whole situation affect your clientele base, like the relationship that you already had?
All right, mostly we operate town and local what. So that time abantu were not able to go to town. Everyone was local. Firstly, it was great Chona at home and everyone, and people were spending extravagantly because we're not aware how long is this COVID, what is this COVID. So people were just excited and being around, so suspend everything only to realize this thing is pushing further and further and further. So it's stuck. Even you could not even get a client to hook you up because he could not even feed himself. It was so very hard to go to hook someone when personally to handle or sustain himself.
So I'm just assuming that maybe some of your clients were affected by COVID economically. People lost their jobs, people could not trade and things like that. How did it affect your services?
So now we were turning to lower prices. So now for that higher prices, so also lama negotiations too much, and ama-sex workers ayisemaningi, everyone was now turning to that work. So kwasokule competition, when you could not charge high, ubona ukuthi lapha kulani kule competition, you could not refuse. Umuntu wayethi maybe I'm offering you this, I want sex without condom, you could not refuse. So we're just taking all.
So how low could you go, for example?
Very low, even up to $2.
What then do you do with the $2?
Omunye umuntu will be a mother, you know, maybe having 3 or 4 children. You have to put food on the table. You cannot explain this to the children. So you could do whatever to make sure that everyday life is going on.
So is there like a class difference within the commercial sex workers to say these are low class, middle class or high class, or it's just the same thing? Even the sports that you guys wait for your clients from?
Yeah, kule hierarchy. Abakhona ama-top class, middle class and so ever. So khona lokho okwenza i-difference in charging of ama-services akho. If you go even kubomana, it's so different. Even ungahamba even kubo sisi, the prices are so different kuya nge-class and type of clients that you meet.
What informs the class that you belongs to?
Background and the level of education.
Okay.
You maybe abanye abantwana they are coming from emakhokhova and what even the level of education is so very low. It's so very low. Ukuthi umuntu engage into sex work kebe kuyi economic difficult. Kebe ungaso choice, kebe ungaso what, kebe ngela any other form of thing. This is the only thing that she can do. Omunye umuntu is from hillside, is everything rich and whatever. This is by choice, this is by design. Maybe she is at Nast College. And then she just engaged into a place and all the things. She's doing that for fun. She's doing that for, I know, maybe getting an extra something or whatsoever. Omunye is doing that for a living. So I think it desperation liana li economic yikho kwenza i-class liane.
So how do you handle discrimination associated with commercial sex work?
Well, we face discrimination, especially ku economy, ku community exactly. If you know church, you find people spacing and so I think that you're supposed to be a stronger person for yourself because you know what drove you into that thing. So you cannot let different path there. So I think you just take it as your strength, whatever. When you know your situation, you know why you did this, you know what you are earning, you know what you.
So how do you deal with that?
Even seeking even professional help, like a SRI Sexual Rights Center, kulema counseling, and any other form of motivation.
Did you get any support maybe from other organizations that you guys work with?
During that time, I was not in contact with SRC. I was not yet in that. So I was just a peer, just distributing things. But ababe in Pagati SRC, babe tola mafuta hampers and even monthly allowances. I think babe kushino ngamanya organizations.
So there's like an association that was facilitating that for you.
We call it organizations.
And how easy is it to join and actually have access to these services?
If you openly tell or tell people that you're a sex worker and even we have problems, those organizations are there for such people. So if you have someone or who is in that organization, if you openly tell the person, you can easily join there. Yeah.
All right. So also on the issue of safe sex, how easy is it to negotiate for that, especially with the vulnerabilities associated with COVID-19, where you are charging someone $2? How then is it possible to negotiate for safe sex?
This one is very difficult because most of the clients they usually do not use condoms. So I think when as a lady you are the one who's supposed to make a step for yourself, because lama prep pills, lama prep rings, prep pills, you take them every day. If you see yourself risk of HIV, then ikule prep ring efakwayo if we are between 18 and 24 years of age.
Okay.
Yeah, they prevent and protect you from HIV.
How accessible are they?
Kuma PLED clinics, they are freely given to people. I don't know kuma government or city council clinic.
What are the support systems that are there for you besides the organization that you are working with, maybe in terms of law?
Even us as sex workers, we have that thing. We have a group say too, and we even take a security towards each other. If one of my friends is hooked up or something, I make sure that I take the number plate or something. I make sure I know who's the client that she is going with. So I'm a precautions on Alana. We look out for each other. Even sometimes it's very hard to make police allies in, but if you have one or two people that you rely on, it becomes easy. Apart from that, maybe makulama organizations
that are available.
Yes.
So on issues to do with because the fact that you can't negotiate for safe sex, and some people fear being discriminated when they are trying to access health services. What is your experience working with or associating with other commercial sex workers in terms of pregnancies, STIs, and stuff like that? How are they dealing with these problems associated with your work?
Most of our young sex workers, 18 and 24, they will be just engaging into this sex work at a younger age, not even knowing whatsoever issues on the ground. So most of them baba unwanted pregnancies and baba infected kakhulu ngama STIs. So I think konokoma PL educators, it's a hawk foot to try and polish that step. We are targeting kakhulu young FSWs because they don't actually have that information.
And how are you guys dealing with mental health issues?
Mental health.
Yeah, mental health issues.
True, kulama counseling platforms. Akona kubosesha SRC and so forth. I'm a sex worker organization.
And all those are free?
Totally free.
How are you guys making sure that this information that you are giving me cascades to everyone, like every other social worker?
I think it's snowballing. If I tell this one, you make sure to please tell Abani to do this. So I think it's snowballing mostly even through social media. Let's say post, WhatsApp, Facebook, and so forth.
So they keep on referring each other to say, come. And how has been the process of recovering from the impact of COVID-19?
I think it's actually getting a little better and better every day because Oksavalwa and we're having access to everything, courtesy, clinics, and clients.
And the clients keep coming?
Yeah, I'm a regular clients, but the problem with regular clients, they tend to take advantage of you instead of paying you. Girlfriend not so paying, so you have to get how many clients to get that money because you are so very intimate with one person. At the end of the day, we are being a like your girlfriend. Tinapa you are after money, not to one.
But wouldn't it be easier for you to get one rich guy?
One rich guy.
So overall, how has been your experience as a commercial sex worker?
One of the times, the days are not always the same. Yeah. Sometimes kulama violence is you can be beaten up, choked, insulted, everything. Kulama extortion, I'll pay you $20, but when you are done with your job, $5 and everything. Bullying. One hook you up. By 4 by 5. So it's a different experience every day.
How is the response from the police?
Police. Well, most of the times you cannot even go and report this. So I think you just let it go. Even
if you are violated, you have to let it go.
Especially for people who are not into these sex worker-led organizations, I think they just let it slide because kunzima to go and just open up police ngaphandle nxa usudinge VFU ama victim friendly units akhona kuma police stations. So if umunye umuntu engakwazi kuba nzima ukuthi ahambe police station and all that stuff.
And how has been the response from your family or families or for girls who are doing commercial sex work?
Most probably my families baqasa bekukhuza, then at the end of the day bagcina sekuneglect ukuthi whatsoever.
So just let you be What happens there? Or you end up leaving your home?
Because really that constantly going out, what, if you're having maybe street parentals or maybe or something, kubanzima to do that. But as for me, it wasn't so hard because my parents hamba in South Africa really at a very younger age. So even like atesi ngihlala lokho kwami, so it wasn't so hard kangako.
Okay.
Just move out as long as we are listening.
Yeah, because I've heard comments from people who blame girls for being part of the commercial sex workers, to say, why would you sell your body, as they refer to it, as opposed to doing other things, maybe umsika and stuff like that. What is your comment?
I'm not so sure with other people's experience, but as for me, it was very hard. I had to make sure that I go to school, I do anything for my younger sisters. So I started this sex work with maybe a combi drivers to get that free ride to school, to get that little money so that I buy everything for my younger sisters, to get that lunch. Okay. So I think it was a very easy way of making money.
Getting
the easy way. It was hard. With 13 years, I'm looking for money to buy amatomatis and sell. It was just out of.
So what advice would you give to younger girls?
I would not say do not join or do not what, but I would just say even if you want to come in, there are many challenges that you're going to face. You're probably going to get maybe pregnant, you're probably going to get STIs, you're going to get beaten up. Everything is just another. You should just be a step ahead. You should just always be expecting. I think you should always be expecting violence even from anyone. Just to be alert.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching The Weekly Affair. That was Michelle sharing with us the challenges that they came across during COVID-19. Please do follow us on all our social media platforms at Zimbabwe. It's a goodbye for now.